The industrial drone startup Kespry just closed its Series C funding round. The company raised $33 million, bringing the total to over $61 million. The investment was led by G2VP. It also included some strategic investors with Shell Technology and Cisco Ventures. Shell comes on board as Kespry tries to expand its market into gas and oil. Joining us now, Kespry CEO George Mathew. So I'm very curious about this Shell relationship, and would you be partnering with them? Will they be using your technology?
Hey, Emily, great to be back on air. Good to see you. So we're really excited with a number of the strategic investors that joined into this round, our Series C. In Shell in specific, they're a customer of Kespry's today, and they're actually using Kespry for better asset management. So not only are they a customer, but an investor in our future.
What do you mean better asset management?
So when you think about asset management in that market, there's a lot of write-offs that occur because you just don't know where the inventory of spare parts and materials are. We're actually now flying a drone overhead to understand where materials are moving within a stockyard and be able to track that effectively, initially with computer vision and then moving towards RFID. And so that better asset management solution is being delivered by Kespry as a solution provider for not only the drone, but the entire analytical application.
What is the bigger potential for drones in the oil and gas industry?
Yeah, when you think about all of these industrial markets today, these are big market opportunities. We started in the mining aggregate space where we now have over 150 customers. We've expanded into the architecture, engineering, construction market, and then more recently, of course, into the insurance inspection space. So when you think about the mining space and the aggregates market and the additional industrial use cases, energy is just a natural next step for us. And so oil and gas has potential for as big of a market as the spaces that we're in today to really take Kespry into new heights.
What about Cisco? I've spoken with the CEO of Cisco, Chuck Robbins, about potential in IoT and the big push that they're making there. What sort of partnership do you see with Cisco?
I think you hit the nail on the head. When Cisco's looking at the future of IoT, drones are the new sensor network. They're delivering all kinds of new information on a new platform where you can collect industrial sources of content and process that in an effective way. Cisco saw that opportunity in terms of what Kespry was delivering into market and became a natural investor into this current round.
There's still a lot of regulatory uncertainty here. What are your biggest concerns?
The regulatory landscape is very much fluid at this point. We think about, in fact, even just visiting the Trump administration earlier this year, there's a lot of work that still needs to be done to open up the airspace itself. So today we have a clear regulatory framework that's in place. We can fly a commercial drone below 400 feet of airspace, basically within visual line of sight, as long as you have a Part 107 license. So with that regulatory framework being in place as of 2016, it really opened up the commercial use cases and specifically going after some of this industrial work.
5 years from now, when we look up at the sky in California, are we going to see multiple drones?
I have no doubt about that. In fact, some of the regulatory work that's actually happening is to deconflict the airspace, to self-identify who the good actors are, where drones are being used for this kind of commercial work. So we're definitely going to see more drones, both consumer and commercial, in the airspace.
But how would they control volume and traffic?
Well, that's exactly one piece of the overall framework that's in place. It's an unmanned traffic management system that's actually going into place, that's being led by the FAA, where we can now identify who's in the airspace and deconflict so that drones aren't running into each other.
And how do you see the regulations around commercial drones versus personal drones playing out?
Yeah, for commercial drones right now, we have enough of a regulatory framework to do business. So we're flying over mine sites, we're flying over construction locations, we're flying over rooftops to be able to assess what the damage looks like after one of the superstorms. So when you look at the industrial aspects of the commercial space, I think the regulatory framework is very much suited for this kind of work to get accomplished.